Hey everybody, welcome to the Saturday AM Roundtable show. This is episode 3, and we are going over the Summer of Manga pitches. Now, if you guys watched our first episode, we went through 5 people, and 2 people were officially announced to join Summer of Manga. This episode's going to be the same thing. We're going to go over 5 more pitches, announce 2 more artists who are officially joining Summer of Manga, and just have a ball with it. So today I'm here with some special guests. We have Tremaine Johnson, and he is the manga creator for Dream State in Saturday Pilot Manga, or is it Saturday Afternoon? I'm sorry, Tremaine. Is it
Afternoon. It's cool.
afternoon? Okay, oh yeah, afternoon. There we go. And then we have Christina Ondebach. She is the creator of Grimheim and our Saturday Brunch magazine. And next we have Jay Oden with his awesome, colorful background. He is the creator of Hammer, which is in our Saturday AM magazine. And next we have Demetrian Phillips. He is our kind of staff member who works behind the scenes, helping us to create articles, helping us manage the website. He's kind of a jack of all trades. So we got Demetrian. And then last of all, we have Austin Harvey. Austin Harvey is or used to be the writer of Better Off Ignorant, but now he is working editorial, helping with the magazine and with Summer Manga. So thank you all for being here, and let's go ahead before we start on the pitches. I want to talk about the graphic novels, and I want to bring Jay to the floor just to kind of talk about everything we have going on, how you can get your own graphic novels. So, if you'd like to start, Jay, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So first off, thank you all for watching this. I really appreciate you guys coming out and checking out this video. In case you didn't know, we're Saturday AM, the world's most diverse manga brand, and we actually have 10 books coming out this year. It's going to start actually next month, June 7th. We're going to be releasing these first 4 books that you see on screen: Apple Black Volume 1, Hammer Volume 1, that's my series, Saigami Volume 1, as well as also the How to Draw a Diverse Manga book. And then throughout the year, July 5th is Oblivion Rouge. If I'm not mistaken, September 6th is Massive Multiplayer World of Ghosts. August 2nd is Titan King. October 4th is Yellow Stringer, and then November 8th is Apple Black Volume 2 and Hammer Volume 2. And the annual, I'm not actually sure when that comes out. I would assume in December. But all of that to say is we have a lot coming to you, and we've never been this excited about everything that we have coming to you. So definitely keep an eye out for all of these in stores. And if you would like to actually receive a trading card pack, you can actually pre-order them right now. And that's the only way you're going to be able to get these trading cards right now anyway. You just order whatever you want, and then you go to this pre-order button right there. You enter your information, whichever store you got it from, whether it's Barnes and Nobles or Waterstones or wherever. And you get these cards. So it's a great deal. We are we're rocking. So I hope that you guys are definitely taking advantage of this right now, because if you don't, then they're not going to be around anymore. So definitely uh you know hop on it. But anyway, back to you, Jackie. I don't really
All
have
right.
anything else to say. So
All right. Well, thank you very much. That was awesome. So yeah, if you guys want to pre-order now, you can get those exclusive trading cards. So be sure to go ahead and do that. But yeah, let's jump right into it. Let's look at these pitches that we've got. Now, these are pitches that we've looked at. We had a whole bunch of submissions to us for the registration period, and we vetted them and we came up with our top 15, and we looked at 5 of them yesterday, and we're going to look at 5 more today, and then 5 more in our next episode. So these 5 specifically, the first one that we're going to look at, it's a writer and artist team, and the writer is JM293, and the artist is Midnight Comics. Now, if I go to their Instagram, it looks like they don't have any posts. Um, so I can't really say anything about, the writer. But let's check out Midnight Comics. Okay, so this is the artist that we have, Midnight Comics, and I don't know if the writer or the artist is from Puerto Rico, but they said that they're from Puerto Rico. Now their comic that they're pitching to us is called Bounty, and this is the pitch. A depressed intergalactic taxi driver named Cal walks us through his life as he teams up with a sexy bounty hunter named Ash, her manager Ketchup, and a vending machine named CR8-1 who has been inhabited by the sane AI of a mediocre bot or Medicare bot, sorry. This is Guardians of the Galaxy gone cuckoo bananas with a little bit of Dan on the side. So that is his pitch. Now, they have an incredibly long description of their story. I'm not sure I'm going to read all of it. I'll just read a little bit. Cantor versus a desert storm of a planet mostly famously known for its dunes, black market buys, odorous inhabitants, and high quality scarves. Seriously, these scarves are the shit. Plus, the washes right off. My team consists of a badass bounty hunter named Ash, her stupid face manager Ketchup, and a pointless vending machine who has been inhabited by the medical bot CR8-1. Um, so the pitch kind of just goes on, and it lists a lot of details that happens, um, and then I won't spoil the end, but that is their pitch. Now, I kind of want to go around the room. I'm gonna ask three of you your opinion about this comic, about this artist, what you think of their art. So I'll go ahead and start with Austin, if you would like to share your thoughts of this artist and the story that they pitched.
For sure, yeah. The story, I don't even think I can really comment on it. It is a lot to process. And it doesn't even feel like there's really a hook here. It doesn't help that I don't get to see, um, much of the writer's experience or any of their, writing talent. But
Mm,
the artist, for sure, there is definitely talent here. Um, there is, it's obvious that they they work hard. There's like attention to detail, and there's potential for growth as well.
mhm,
Um, I don't. It doesn't look like this was a previously published comic because I'm not seeing it on at least Midnight Comics website, and I'm not sure if. Well, we go over to Instagram over here. I guess this is his Instagram that he has. So, you know, interestingly enough, he's been practicing. He has talent. No, I do not want to log in. But um, I like you said, Jackie, I worked on Better Off Ignorant, so I don't know what the writer and artist chemistry is here, which is very
mhm,
important for writing a series, and like I definitely will have experience with that.
mhm,
But the artist has talent. I from what the pitch and the synopsis is, I can't say that the writer does. So yeah.
mhm. Yeah, and I'll go ahead and comment too. Fred mentioned this in the previous episode, but we also had a writer and artist pitch. I believe it was Birdswall Art, and then I forget what the writer's name was, but Fred was saying there is a concern there. Um, how connected are these two artists? There's no real way for us to tell looking at these two individuals if they have that genuine chemistry. So it'll be hard to say if we could give them their vote at the end, but we'll see. Um, but what are your thoughts, Christina, on these two artist writer duo here that we got?
Yeah, so I basically agree with what Austin said. I think what really bothered me was the this ridiculously long synopsis. I think I think the writer tried to be, maybe to be very clever, or to be a little bit more exciting, because it was written as if someone was telling the story, as the main character was telling the story to us. And again, I think this is kind of cool, but not for pitching your work to a company, because if you're going to pitch it, I believe it has to be very concise and straight to the point, because I don't have a lot of time. Fred, the publisher, doesn't have a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we need to get straight to the point. And if you have all this stuff going on, I have to be, I'm honest, I was kind of, um, I wasn't really excited to read this. I was like kind of tired. I was like, okay, let me just read this pitch, which is also not exactly how we do a pitch. Uh, but yeah, so I can't really comment on the story, because frankly, I don't really understand it that well. It's a lot of concepts thrown together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for the artwork, though, I do agree that I see a lot of potential in this artwork. Um, I really like the toning, and there's a lot of detail going on. Maybe the pages are still a bit, at, at times, a bit too messy. I've looked at the website as well. Maybe a bit too messy at times, but still there's a lot of potential in the artwork. But again, combined with this very kind of messy story that you presented to us, I'm not sure what to really make out of this. So it's difficult for me.
Right, right. I will say on a note to just to end this really quickly. Um, the idea of the Guardians of the Galaxy and a talking vending machine. I think that's really funny. I really like that. I think that kind of hooked me onto the story a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, well this could be kind of like a funny gag story. So yeah, but I agree with everyone else. Next time, have a shorter pitch that gets to the point. And and we go from there. But let's go ahead, and that was JM293 and the artist Midnight Comics. Let's go ahead and move on to our next pitch that we have. This is an artist coming from the United States. Their name is Rob Future. Future has two U's in it, so it's ROBFUUTURE. And their comic is called Orange Paradise. And here's their artwork here. They have a very unique style. It honestly kind of reminds me of Benedict Nick, the Phenomenal Brick, the art of Nathaniel's art a little bit. But let's go ahead. Here is his pitch. It's Dr. Slump meets Adventure Time, and together they create a wonderfully comedic creation full of fun ideas, exciting panels, and joyful characters. Now, more details on his story. Color Island's very own artist and part-time scientist, Tobei Kagu, is conducting a serum that'll let him pull items from his dream. Having to leave the lucid juice, brilliantly named by him, unattended for an emergency bathroom break, his robot sister discovers it and mistakes the serum for a drink. Uh-oh. Returning from the bathroom, he finds his sister, Sue, out cold and discovers her dreams projecting from her ears. The effects of the juice is taking, and Toibe must save Sue from an internal slumber. Will he be able to wake her up? Find out in Orange Paradise. So that is Rob Future's pitch and his artwork that we see. Let's go ahead and get Jay's thoughts on this artist and his story.
Yeah. So first off, I don't see phenomenal brick artwork. Like it doesn't remind me of that. It reminds me of Akira Toriyama. Like what if
Oh,
like when he was doing Dr. Slump, he's heavily influenced by it. I think he's doing a good job too. I mean, obviously there's some there's some rough areas that he'll improve on, the more he draws, but or she, I'm not sure, who they are. But the story, I thought it was pretty cool. It sounds like a really good setup for a gag manga. And looking at his art, also knowing his influences, I'm sure that he'd be able to, or they would be able to, deliver very well. You know, there are some sequential issues, but again, I think with work with an editor, and more time, just constantly drawing, I mean, you'll get better. But overall, I think it could work for sure.
Awesome, awesome. What about you, Tremaine? What do you think of this story and the art that you see here?
Pretty much right along with Jay. I really do like the story pitch. It's really colorful. I like the name being Orange Paradise with the story being so colorful. But the artwork itself, it reminds me definitely of Akira Toriyama, but it's also throwing me like, because I grew up as a Cartoon Network kid, it's throwing me like in the realm of Chowder
Mm,
also. So with it being like a gag approach to it, I could definitely see this being executed so well. The artwork is definitely complements the story that's being portrayed as wanting to be told or whatnot. This is something I would definitely be excited to read.
sweet, sweet. What? How do you feel, Dimitri? And do you feel the same?
Yeah, this well, I guess let me start with the plot. Definitely intriguing. I like the gag manga kind of like scenario that they're going with. And the artwork definitely does give me the Akira Toriyama vibes. Um, I could see this manga being like very episodic, like kind of like Hitman Reborn or something like that, like having like um an underlying like plot, like holding everything together, but like everything kind of like happening within one chapter, and then like the next chapter would be another episode or scenario that's going around or going on, if that makes sense.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm really excited for this. This looks cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, it totally does make sense. And, now that you guys mentioned Akira Toriyama, I definitely see that. But yeah, that was Rob Future with his comic Orange Paradise. Now, let's go ahead and go on to our next pitch, which is from Mavro Sprine. I believe that's how I'm pronouncing it. They're from the United States, and their comic is called Robin's Revolver. And their pitch is Ghost in a Shell meets Gunslinger Girl. Now, the specifics of their story, let's read it here. After retiring from a career in espionage, a single mother of six, codenamed Robin, attempts to lead a normal life and raise her children. After the family survives a near fatal, Robin must reestablish herself as a spy in order to uncover who was targeting her family. Only this time she has the help of her six cybernetic enhanced children trained in the art of assassination. Now, this is his artwork, and he has some very good artwork. He definitely knows how to draw anatomy. But let's go ahead and get Christina's thoughts on this artist's story and their artwork.
Yeah, so I was sold on the story. The story, to me, I think what's so interesting is that it's just so like not shonen. It sounds to me more like a seinen or a josei work, so more for like mature audiences. I really like the focus on the mother character. So that's pretty cool. Um, my issue though is the artwork, because while I agree that this looks pretty solid, pretty good. I looked at the artist's stuff and at their posts, and I'm not quite sure. I believe some of these images are drawn by the artist, but some of them are commissioned. So it's a bit tricky to say what this artist exactly is capable of. And also, at least on the Instagram, you don't see any sequential artwork. And that was like
Mm.
kind of a bummer, because if you're going to submit to a comic publisher, you should have some sequential pages because that's your job,
Mm-hmm.
basically. But if you do click on the link, in on his profile, you actually get to a like his website, I guess, or the artist's website, and there is a section that says manga. But then again, it lists all these artists, and y- y- like, I'm confused. I don't know who is doing the artwork and what the artist is doing, or maybe he's just a writer. I don't know. So it's very confusing, I guess, and that's my problem with
Mm.
this entry, basically.
Gotcha. What how do you feel about that, Austin? Given that it looks like we do have some sequential art to look at, what do you think?
Uh, so now that Christina mentions it, and I didn't actually see this on my first pass of it, but now I'm starting to think that this isn't just a singular person, that this is a whole team that's
Mm.
applied. Because now that we click on this and it's Mavros Prime as a website, I feel like these are everybody that we are dealing with right now, the artists,
Mm.
um, which is almost bonkers to me because um, I think this might be the first time that we are dealing with something like this. So it is good that we are dealing with people who at least have some sort of experience drawing their comics as opposed to other people who have applied.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the same time, well, I haven't really read over this, so I can't really comment on its strength of a story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it just worries me if there's too much cooks in the kitchen. Who's the actual
Right.
writer here?
Right. Is this the
So
only thing that they have as far as manga content?
this is the only thing that I see. Um, Artist Nicholas. Okay.
I was gonna say Nicholas Draper Ivy is actually like a published artist. He worked on the recent Static Shock I guess reboot that came out. But yeah, I don't think he'll be a constant artist for this
Hmm.
person because
Right.
he has like major projects that he works on.
Right. So yeah,
Yeah.
then the bigger question is, yeah, who are we dealing with here? Right.
Mm.
Like I want to know if this was a team effort, which is great, like, splits up the work, but like, are we dealing with one person here? We dealing with multiple people?
Mm. Yeah.
I I don't know. Like what is
Yeah,
everybody's
from
stripes?
the illustrations that were just showing, it seems like he probably commissioned Nicholas for those singular illustrations. But the artwork inside of the comic, it doesn't look like that's from Nicholas. It's probably whoever another artist that's listed on there. So that might be the team, but he's giving credit to Nicholas for the illustrations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very interesting find that we've stumbled on, to say the least. Not sure if it's gonna get our votes because that's a big question mark. We just don't know how reliable this artist or this team of people, is gonna be, creating this piece of content. And um, the intention with Summer of Manga is to highlight new artists and potentially consider them for joining our company. Now, I don't think we'd would probably be very excited about having five artists all together in a team working on one of our series. I don't think that'll fly. So, again, it's a big question mark with this creator, but from the artwork that we've seen, it's very talented stuff. So, we'll see if we give it our votes at the end of the video. But let's go ahead and take a look at our next artist that we have. This artist has actually participated in some of our events at Saturday AM. We know them well. Their name is Jello Studios, and they are from Ireland. And their pitch that they gave us is Iron Man meets Demon Slayer. And the description of their story is a disabled man named AJ is working with his buddy to create advanced armor like prosthetics for the disabled. With their inventions, they are hoping to get into a university that is known for producing skilled engineers. One night, AJ's friend got attacked by an Aswang. It's a monster. basically, while on his way to their workshop. AJ saw it happen as he was on a video call with his buddy. Thanks to the tracking device on his buddy's phone, he successfully found where the monster dragged his buddy. Even though he is shaking in fear and clearly had no idea how to fight the monster with his disability, his missing left hand, he rushed to the scene with the armor. The monster already had his buddy's right leg and is about to get the other. AJ swoops in wearing the red armor, gathering all his courage and strength to fight the monster. And I could go on a little bit more, but basically, you have this person who's making this device for like disabled people, and also having to deal with fighting this monster in this comic. So that's basically his pitch. It is a little bit long, I will say, but let's go ahead and take a look at his art. We have a range. He does a very stylized uh, art style, a very cartoony, which is very cool. But let's go ahead and get. I believe it was Demetrian's turn, Jay Odin's, and Tremaine. So, Demetrian, you want to start and kind of give your thoughts on the story and the art?
Yeah. I'll start with the art. I definitely like the art style. It's very poppy and yeah, I think it's really like clean. I I don't know like the way the plot sounds. Don't know if it works well in combination to be honest, but I could be wrong. Um, but uh, but yeah, the plot itself. Yeah, if it was a bit more concise, I feel like I would have followed along a little bit better. But
Mm.
it definitely does sound interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think this could still be a good story. I just feel like maybe if they would have been a little bit more direct with like the story summary, it would have hit a little harder. But yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, that's reasonable. How about you, Jay? What do you think of this?
Yeah, I agree. The art is really, really good. It looks like he's improved since the last time he's actually been inside of March Art Madness. I really like it. I think if had nothing else, the pages that he would draw would look really beautiful. I think the story, I agree that the story sounds pretty cool. Like, I mean, I feel like it could go in a good way. It's just the way he described it, it is really confusing, and it's not really giving me an idea of what I, would like to see. So, I there's a lot of potential, but I mean, it's kind of up in the air. But the art is really, really good. I
Mm.
would like to see more sequential pages, but I mean, his figure work and line art and all that, I like it a lot. It looks pretty cool.
Mm. Okay, okay. Tremaine, what do you think?
As far as the artwork goes, yeah, this is definitely something I would come back to see if I was reading the comics because the artwork is nice, it's crisp. Um, like I said, definitely something I would look forward to seeing in a comic on like a daily basis or whatnot, whatever basis you can make it. As far as for the story, I do agree. It's I don't feel like it's missing too much. I feel like it's missing some core details that could help it like actually have a lot of impact. Like, for example, where an on song comes from. It's really random in such a sense, but I do think it has a lot of potential. Definitely to make something. It puts me in the sense of I wasn't really getting Iron Man meets Demon Slayer from it. I was more so getting like Big Hero 6 mixed with Full Metal Alchemist type vibes with it. I'm interested in seeing how this story could flourish, but I definitely get the part where everybody's like, it's just missing some key details, some points that would make me a lot more hooked on the story.
Hmm. Yeah, I kind of felt like that too. Like, I think the idea of his story is good, but like you said, I feel like it's just missing some kind of hook to like really get me. Oh yeah, like I really want to read this. But artwork, I agree, fantastic. Um, but I guess next time maybe just try to work on the story a little bit more. Try to get some more feedback from people and advice how to condense your story a little bit. But yeah, that is Jello Studios from Ireland with his comic Red. I don't think I mentioned that this comic's called Red. And then the one that we did before, the name of that comic is Robin's Revolver. But let's go ahead and get to our next pitch. This is our last one that we're going to discuss. It's by the Anton Art, the underscore Anton underscore art. Now, like Jello Studios, the Anton Art has also participated in some of our events at Saturday M, March Art Madness, I believe. And they are from Costa Rica. And their comic is called The Fighting Sense. And here's the pitch: a blind woman has finally the opportunity to fight against her biggest opponent. And this is their description of their story. Uh, Chief Chichitha is a blind fighter of martial arts. Years ago, she received a challenge from the number one fighter of her age, and hiding she is a blind person, now it's her turn to accept the challenge. With her fighting sense, the air conscience, she's able to perceive the complete environment on a 5 uh, MTS radio, I guess, whatever that means, and she uses this ability to fight. She loses the fight, but during the fight, the boy she's fighting discovers her disability, and respects her because of her effort, uh, and hopes to fight against her when she becomes stronger. That's basically the description of his comic. Now, I want to get Austin's opinion of this artist, their artwork, and then their story, and then we can end with Christina and in my opinion, I guess. So go ahead, Austin.
All right. Not much to say about this. This guy, he does have talent, but he obviously has room to grow. There is no comic pages that I can see, unless he has a link somewhere. He has a Twitter. Uh, don't know if he's posted any comic pages, but I don't think he would have. Not that I'm seeing, no. And it's asking me to log in, no. But it's like he obviously has talent, but my problem is he doesn't have any original content. He doesn't have any comic pages done. The concept seems cool, um, but on top of he does have talent, but he still has room to grow as well. Like there's some stiffness that I can see in his artwork.
Hmm.
Not to say that he can't get there, but I just don't think he's there right now.
Gotcha. What about you, Christina?
Yeah, I basically agree um, with all of that. I looked at his Twitter and he does have, I think, like two sequential pages, so it's not really a lot. And I agree that this is a problem. If you only have fan art, then you don't really know, as a publisher or as an editor, I guess you don't really know the skill set or if this person is really capable to tell a story, which is indeed different than to just draw a single illustration. Um, for the story, though, I like it. I think the story has potential. I really like the concept that you have a female character who's blind, and then she has to, basically find a way to, I guess, outsmart other people and still win. And so that's interesting. But again, the fact that you don't really have any original stuff, no sequential pages, is like kind of a bummer again. I don't know. Maybe we need to make a video about that. Why you should always have a portfolio of sequential artwork when you're going to submit to a comic book publisher,
Yeah.
because this seems to happen like quite a lot. That
Hmm.
people are going to submit stuff and they don't have sequential work, which is uh, I'm always confused a little bit, because I'm like, this. If you want to do that, then how come you don't have any pages? But again, this is just me. Maybe I don't know, but yeah. So difficult work, an interesting story, but again, no sequential pages, so hard for me to judge really.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of felt the same when I first saw this artist. I did kind of worry what their comic would look like because I'm only seeing colored illustrations and I'm seeing fan art. I'm not really seeing any kind of uh indication of, oh, how can this artist tell a story, how can he visually show us the of transition of characters and dialogue. So it is going to be hard to say, but I do think this artist is very talented, and I think their story is decent. I think it's decent. I feel like the previous one, it's kind of missing something that I feel will really hook you on. Like, I like the idea that she's blind and that she's using this kind of conscious to fight in her battles, and I guess I just kind of wanting more. I'm wanting more. I want to feel really excited to root for this character. Maybe like her fight could be more epic, like the stakes that are involved are higher. Maybe that could be what really kind of pulls me in, but I feel like the story is kind of missing something. But the artist is very talented, and we'll see if we'll give them our vote. But yeah, that is the last artist that we have here. That is the underscore Anton underscore art from Costa Rica with their comic The Fighting Sense. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and because we have two artists that have already been accepted to Summer of Manga. Fred picked them out personally, so we're gonna go ahead and look at those two artists, and we're gonna look at their pitch. So I'll go ahead and bring that up here. All right, so I'll go ahead and announce the two artists. The first artist that we have making it with Summer of Manga is an artist named Experiment underscore Arts, and their comic is The Dragon Princess. Now I'm gonna go ahead and read their pitch for you guys so you guys get an understanding of why we chose this pitch. But their pitch is How to Train Your Dragon meets Osama ranking. And we have an adventurous child called Bonto with no memories of her past is looked after by her caretakers who seek to protect her from the mystic Moon Man who lives beyond the wall. Only ever hearing his song and the stories told of him, she starts questioning what is true. Am I being protected or caged? Breaking free with some help from her dragon friend Butter, she met the omnious Moon Man. What she learns changes her life. And that this artist is from Barbados. I hope I'm saying that right. Um, and they're called the Experiment Arts. So congratulations to the Experiment Arts. We thought that this pitch was very interesting. There was a lot of mystery here and a lot of questions that just kind of make you kind of curious to see what's going on. But let's go ahead and go around the table. I'll get um let's see who is next. I'll get Jay Odin's thoughts on this artist and their pitch, and then we could go to Tremaine next.
Yeah, so I like their art. There's some rough edges. When I was looking at this picture, for example, like her doing that, the arm looks weird, so that kind of throws me off. But I mean, that's just me being nitpicky. So I mean, ultimately, it does look really cool. I would love to see more sequential pages from them for sure. The concept seems pretty interesting as well. It doesn't really like get me super hyped to like go out there and go watch this one comic, but I mean it does make me interested to see what's gonna happen next. So I definitely I'm looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen. I'm more looking forward actually to the next artist, but I mean that's just personal preference. But I do like this their art. I think that it'd be really cool to see action scenes portrayed with this art style for sure.
Yeah, and real quick, if you guys do, and I'll, there should be pictures on the screen kind of showing this artist and their artwork. But if you check out their Instagram, the Experiment Arts, they're a fantastic artist. They have a lot of talent. Um, they draw really well, and again, that's another reason why we ended up choosing this artist, because they're very good at drawing. Um, and
Yes, I'm looking at their Instagram right now. So I just want to amend what I was saying. Even though I do still have an issue with the hand, I love everything else. I'm looking through it and like, tone work, line art, just everything. It looks really cool. And I do
Mhm.
see a few sequential pages on here too. So yeah, uh,
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it would be really awesome for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Tremaine, what do you think of this artist?
Um, First off, speaking on the story itself, I really do like the mysteriousness of the story. This whole wall that separates her from the Moon Man, the Mystic Moon Man, and whatnot. It's like it gives me the vibes of Never Promised Land, Promised Neverland, and
Mhm.
it's like, oh, I want to see what this Mystic Moon Man looks like, and I like how they put you in the mindset of like now you're in the psychological field of trying to figure out, are they keeping her from something or are they actually protecting her from something? So I'm like the way it ended and where they're saying like what she learns changes her life. I'm actually really interested in seeing how the story plays out. After looking at the artwork, I do like the artwork. I also see where you can nitpick Jay, because like I don't personally, I just don't like the fist being cut out of the image. I feel like, just downsize it a bit and show the whole body and everything, man. Flesh your characters. But as far as like the rest of the style and everything, I love the style that this person draws in. I would definitely like to see it fleshed out as a full comic. So definitely congratulations to them.
Yep. Awesome, awesome. What do you think, Demetrian?
Sorry, trying to unmute there. Yeah, the plot sounds really interesting. Actually, it kind of grabbed me and pulled me in. I definitely am with Tremaine on. It reminded me of Promise Neverland, like some like big twist that's gonna happen that's gonna like blow your mind. The artwork is really solid. Yeah, and again, like the nitpicky stuff is definitely warranted here. But I see like really good promise in the artist, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this one. This one seems cool.
Yes, I agree. So again, congratulations to Experiment underscore Arts for getting into Summer of Manga. We'll be contacting you guys shortly on instructions on what to do next. And this artist is from Barbados, and their comic is called Dragon Princess. So let's go ahead and move on to our next artist. Okay. So our next artist is Eric Pedrucci from Brazil. Now, Edric Pedrucci, they also were in one of our events recently in March Art Madness, and they actually came in third place for our event. So we're very familiar with their work and just how talented they are. Um, and they produced some very beautiful work. One of them is this poster that they did for Saturday Wars, with a lot of our characters just all coming out and fighting Chilean, the evil villain. So congratulations, Edric Pedrucci, for making it into our Summer of Manga event. But let's go ahead and go through what they pitched to us, so that you can see, why we chose them. But they came to us with a comic called Wild Bird Aquila. And I'll go ahead and read that for you guys. The pitch is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them meets How to Train Your Dragon. Aquila is a young man with the power to grow wings from any flying creature on his body, due to an oath that he made to protect all wildlife. His promise is put to the test after he goes on a mission to find a missing village child, relying on his power and wits to prevent an all out war between the adult villagers and a powerful magical beast. So that is Wildbird Aquila, and by Edric Produci from Brazil. I believe, Austin, it is your turn to tell us what you think about this artist.
I mean, the artist has talent. There's no doubt about that. There's no like the dynamism and like even in just this picture right here, like the uses of colors and poses. Like there's nothing to comment really. Story wise, it seems interesting. He definitely has it as an adventure kind of style story. I'm definitely interested to see how the different wings of birds are going to come into play. I wonder if it is. It sounds like he's making it kind of like a battle story. So I mean, a part of what makes manga great is like the uniqueness of powers. So I definitely am interested to see how different bird wings come into the battles. uh, I, I'm just imagining what penguin wings can do. Um, uh, but I guess we'll see. Like, I need to see some craziness to. I just got to see this through.
Hey, I bet he'll watch this and he'll take that advice, Austin. So be careful with your words. But yeah, that is Edric Pedrucci and Christina. Let's get your thoughts on this artist and his pitch as well.
I mean, I guess penguin wings can slap people, so that's pretty cool.
Ah,
I don't know. I don't know if they even can do.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Is that what do you think
That's
about
a
this
very cool
art?
idea, actually. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Can
Uh-huh.
you re-say that whole thing again? My computer froze out.
Oh no, I was just going to make a comment about that. I think it's a very cool idea with the wings of different, like creatures. I guess not even birds, just flying creatures. Um, and yeah, I think it looks. The story sounds pretty interesting. But what I'm actually more interested in is the artwork because I do know that Eric is a great like artist, but I didn't know he is also so talented in actually drawing comic book pages because I've looked on the I clicked on the link, and there you can see that he has experience with drawing comic book pages and manga pages, and they look really good. So,
Hmm,
yeah, this might be, in my opinion, the best pitch we have uh, tonight. So, yeah,
awesome.
good job, Eric.
Yeah, that this is a great example of the kind of work that we're looking for. The level of artwork, the level of storytelling. This is it. This is a perfect example. So if you guys are looking for a point of reference of what we're looking for, this is a great example. This one and this pitch by Experiment Arts. But let me go ahead, and Fred did leave behind some comments for us for these two pitches, and also for the voting, which will be what we will be doing next. For Experiment Arts, this is his reasoning for choosing this pitch. He said he is curious about this one. He seems to have some cultural ideas. The artist is from Barbados, which interested me. The pitch is solid. Ranking of Kings is a great choice. I think I forgot to mention that. The pitch is How to Train Your Dragon meets Osama ranking. Um, and the artist is clearly capable. Not sure I can say the idea is 100%, nor that this artist has a strong history of making comics. Uh, I don't think they do, but the potential here looks strong. That's what Fred says. So that's what he said for Experiment Arts, The Dragon Princess. For this pitch by Edric Produci, Fred commented that he thinks this is a great concept. Artist is clearly capable. He's Brazilian, and this appears to have some cultural ideas as well. Definitely digging this. So that's Fred's reasoning for choosing this pitch as well. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and start our vote for the five pitches that we went over today, which is JM293 and Midnight Comics with their title Bounty, We have Rob Future with Orange Paradise. We have Mavros Prime with their comic Robin's Revolver. We have Jello Studios with their comic Red. And last but not least, we have the Anton Art with their comic The Fighting Sense. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take notes as you guys give me your votes, but let's go ahead and start with the artist writing team for Bounty. Demetrian, what is your vote? Does this artist get your first or your second place vote?
This is hard, honestly. I'm gonna give them my second place vote because I do want to see where they were gonna go with this.
Okay, awesome. Do you have a reason why specifically you'd choose them?
I'm gonna say just because I know we were talking about the plot not being very concise, but I feel like if they were able to go back in and kind of not go so intense with trying to give us this like long extended like explanation or like and give us more of a synopsis, I feel like the plot is like interesting enough to like draw people in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I would say this would be my second place vote.
Okay, awesome. What about you, Jay? Does this one shot bounty get your first or your second place vote?
No,
No.
neither. Sorry.
That's
Neither.
me. Okay. Okay. And do you have a reason, Jay, for not giving this one your first or second place vote?
Personally, I just like two other properties a lot more. I
Okay.
do think that this artist has promise for sure. The writer needs some work. I do agree. Maybe if he had time to, I kind of agree. I kind of agree only because if you can sit down and actually work out everything that's in your head, then it can work out. However, if you're a writer, you should be able to tell your entire story very quickly. It shouldn't be, hey, I got to give you all this backstory just so you can understand everything. So I personally have a lot more stock in the artist than the writer. But unfortunately, if both of them aren't up to par, I can't give them my second place or my first place. So yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Fred also voted. He said, this is a pass for me. The artist seems capable, but there's the same partnership deal with a writer that appears to have nothing tied to the artist. The writer's profile is zero. So I'm guessing there's nothing on the right. Well, yeah, there when we looked up the writer's Instagram, there was nothing on it. Um, the pitch is one of the worst ones I've seen. It is not a pitch, just a bunch of concepts thrown together. Likewise, the artist is clearly talented, not sure on the experience as the art changes a bit from post to post, but unlike the other partnership with Birdswall Art, which I did not advance, this artist does have a decent amount of sequential pages. So, Fred, that is Fred's comment. Let's go ahead and get Austin's thoughts. Does this comment get your first or second place vote, Austin?
If it wasn't a package deal, it would, but since it is a package deal, no, that name is terrible. And honestly, if Midnight Comics wanted to, come to us because it does have talent, like it would be interesting. But we don't have anything to go off of with JM9293. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say no.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And just keep this in mind, guys. Sometimes our comments can seem a bit harsh sometimes, but we do want to be respectful to everyone in this competition. And, we meet every criticism that we give you is constructive. We do want you guys to take what we're saying and use it to improve yourself and improve your comic if you want to pitch to us again next year or to another company. The other company would probably say the same exact things we are about your work. So just take it with a grain of salt. But let's go ahead and get Christina's thoughts on this artist. Do they get your first or second place vote, Christina?
No, neither, unfortunately. for the same reasons that the other people have already mentioned. For me, it's mostly the synopsis. It it killed. I mean, it just sorry, but it was too much, I guess. I agree. The art has potential. The artist has a lot of potential, but again, combined with this just wall of text for a synopsis, it's no, just
Gotcha.
sorry.
Okay. Okay. I don't think I asked Tremaine yet. Tremaine, what is your vote? First or second place or neither?
Sorry, it's gonna have to be a neither for me also. Definitely, like everybody's saying, the artist's work is great. There is room also still for improvement for their artwork, as far as I feel for the panel layout. But the artwork is definitely very energetic, great artwork. The another reason I would have to give this a well, one of the reasons I'm giving this a no is because for me it's hard to imagine a pitch such as this one, which seems like it's supposed to be somewhat in the presentation of a gag comic, drawn in such a serious style. I mean, we do have One Punch Man, but the artwork from this artist doesn't seem to be in any way a compliment to the story that's going to be told.
Mm,
But the I, I do believe the writers should definitely try to revise this and make this more concise, if they do have any way to. But yeah, that would be my reason for a no also.
gotcha. Okay, well, let's go ahead and look at our second artist here. This is Orange Paradise by Rob Future. I'll go ahead and oh, I forgot. My vote for the previous artist, Bounty. For the same reasons you guys said, I'm also gonna have to say a neither on this one. I do think they're very talented, but there's a big question mark to whether or not them and the writer can work effectively together, and we don't even know if they know each other. So it's a question mark. So I'm gonna have to pass on that one. But our next artist that we have here, Rob Future. Let's go ahead and go around and get your guys' opinion on that. Let's see. Let's start with Christina. Christina, what do you think? Would this get your first or your second place vote?
This gets my first vote. I loved it. Yeah, I was on board with it. I love the artwork. I think it looks very cool, and the story also sounds very interesting. So yeah, first place for me.
Awesome. Okay, how about you, Jay? First or second place, or neither?
Yeah, this was also a first for me. I love the artwork. I mean, even this cover reminds me of Curious I'm sure I've seen a pose like this before. But I mean, it seems like it would be funny. It seems like with the cartoony style, like you have a lot of range too, especially with comedy. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they can actually land the gags. If there's any action, what does it look like? But ultimately, I think it'll be an interesting read. So that's why I'll give it my first.
Okay, awesome. Demetrian, what do you think? Does this get your first? I know you already said second place. So would this be your first place or neither?
Yeah, this would be my first place. Dittoing to the other two guys. Um, yeah, I really like the art style. Also, I'm a huge fan of like the gag mangas and again, like Hitman Reborn and Dragon Ball, like all that stuff. It's I think the artist and the writer are a very good pair as well because it seems very like comedic and fun, and so does the artist. So yeah.
I will have to also give Rob Future my first place vote. I think their story sounds very fun. It sounds interesting to read, and I think their art style is cute. It's fun, and I would like to see more from this artist. So it gets my first place vote. What about you, Tremaine? First, second place, or neither?
I'm gonna give this one my first place also. Like I said, I really love the story and how colorful it's presented, and everything. The characters seem like they'll be lively. And I can't believe I didn't mention this the first time when we were going over it. It gives me the vibes of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs also.
Ah,
You
yeah.
know, like how the cloud pretty much creates like everything physical. Yeah. So I'm like I said, I'm excited to see what Rob Future can do with this story. It's definitely a first place for me.
Great, great. That's an excellent point you made. What about you, Austin? First, second, or neither?
Um, so I'm tempted to give it my second place, but I think I will give it my first place. The only reason why I was tempted to give it my second place is because while we were going over the pitch and synopsis, I was looking over the pages, and it seems like the entire story he's already posted to Webtoon.
Hmm.
So which is against the rules for
It
Summer of
is?
Manga. So I hope that yes,
Oh, I didn't know that.
you cannot post something that we already, yeah, we cannot post something that has already been posted.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was a very big detriment to me. So as long as this creator knows that they will need to make new pages in order to go into Summer of Manga, that's perfectly fine. But they did create the whole story and posted it on Webtoon already. So I just hope that they come prepared to, um, approach this differently.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. And then Fred's vote. This is what he said. Uh, Fred said this is a go for me. The pitch doesn't need all the extra words, but it works as a concept. It reminds me a lot of Toriyama's earlier comedic fantasy works. Strong, it has a specific art style and a great plot. Excited for this. That's what Fred said with Orange Paradise, and he gave Rob Future his vote. So I'll go ahead and write that down, and hopefully my English won't be the detriment of me tonight. Let's go ahead and look at our next artist here. We have Mavros Prime with their comic Robin's Revolver. Now, I believe this is the artist that we didn't know if it was like a group of people or it was like the singular artist. So I'll go ahead and again just see what you guys think of this artist. Tremaine, let's start with you. What do you think? Does this get your second place vote?
No, this one wouldn't get my second place vote. Although I do like the concept and the art is pretty cool. As we said before, we don't really see any comic pages of it. So we don't like the artwork looks cool, but as each of us do know, just because you can draw cool artwork doesn't mean you can draw a comic.
Hmm.
But also we this is the one that had a couple of artists working on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay,
Potentially.
okay. Take
Potentially.
that back. I remember seeing the comic pages for this one. It's hard to just pretty much decide on like how the story is going to play out. If these people will be committed to the project as long as it would take just to create the Summer of Manga pitch. But the story itself does still intrigue me in a bit. I'm sorry, I like to relate everything to like a past thing that I've seen. The story gives me vibes of Cyborg 9. So it was like I think it would be cool to see this executed. It's just a sense of how is it all going to get done. That's all I'm worried about.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get Jay. What's your thought? Does this get your second place vote?
It does not. I agree. The story does seem kind of interesting. I mean, the concept seems interesting. I can see it being executed in a good way and it being really fun to just read every chapter. But I mean, I think it was maybe Demetrian that said this. Maybe it was Tremaine. But when there's too many cooks in the kitchen, maybe it was Austin. No, if there's too many cooks in the kitchen. I mean, you don't really know who's the leader. So I'm not really sure exactly how the art is going to be handled, and because of that, I am going to say no. But maybe if they can come back next year with a one artist as opposed to an entire team, And if it is a team, maybe one of them is drawing just the characters and the other one's drawing just the backgrounds, and then the other one is doing tones, as opposed to one person is drawing 4 pages and the other one is doing 2. Like, I mean, that it's kind of jolting for the reader. Like, wait a minute, like, that character design is completely different. So, I mean, that's that's what I would say. Not character design, the style, but that's what I would say. I would say no for this. So sorry.
Gotcha. Okay. Christina, does this get your second place vote?
I was debating it, but I would say no because the whole situation that we don't know for sure who's involved in this and who's the writer, who's the artist. I guess that's just a bit too messy for me. But I do like the concept, so yeah, I was debating it, but I was like, no, I have another second place for me. So
Okay. What about you, Austin?
Yeah, this one was a toss up for me too between this and another title. Yeah, it like surprise. So spoiler alert, you guys who are going in Summer of Manga, you guys are going to be working with me, or should I say for me? Um, so by the way, I take bribes. So to open up a Google Meet, um, and it's different when I have to see 13 people. It's another thing that when that 13 or like 15 becomes 20 because there's 5 people working on one group and then I have to micromanage 5 people for one story. Um, no thanks, that's not fun. So yeah, no.
Okay. Fair. That's fair. So you guys make sure you be nice to Austin because he might be your editor for Summer of Manga, so you be nice to him. But let's go ahead and get Fred's thoughts on this. Fred said that this is a pass for me. I like the diversity and the concept is pretty solid. Ultimately, the artwork is a tad stiff. I rarely see dynamic camera angles in their art. There are no sequential pages. I guess Fred was only looking on the Instagram page. I hope this artist enters again at some point in the future after adding more diverse work to their portfolio. So, so yeah, based on what Fred saw, he didn't see any sequential art. We saw it, but it was on a different site. So, I guess uh, my vote would kind of go along with Fred's vote as well. I'd give it a no just because, uh, we don't know enough about this artist. We don't know, if they're working with multiple people. If they have the sequential art, that should also be shown on your Instagram page as well. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give this a pass too. But let's go ahead and get. Um, let's see who did I not get yet. Uh, did I who did I not get the vote yet from Demetrian?
Oh, I don't have any votes left.
Oh, you don't have any votes left? Okay, so I got
Yeah,
everyone for this comic.
yeah, I think so.
Okay. Sweet. Okay, let's go ahead and go look at our next artist. We have Jello Studios and then we have one more artist. So we're almost dead, you guys. Jello Studios pitched us a comic called Red. What do you think about this? I'll stick with you, Demetrian. What do you think about this? Does this get your second place vote?
Oh no, I don't have any more votes left. I already gave my 2.
My bad. Okay,
No, it's all good.
let's go with Jay. Jay, does this get your first or second place vote?
See, this one was difficult. These last two, mainly the split is the art style or the story for me. For this one, I love the art style, but the story is not like my favorite. Whereas the next one, I love the story more so than this story, but the art style isn't like up to par to what I think it should do. So I don't know. Like I'm gonna give. I'm gonna trust Jello Studios, so I'm gonna give him my second place. I've seen them in March Art Madness before, and their art is amazing. And because I've seen them in March Art Madness, I know that they could at least meet the deadlines and all that. So I'm gonna go with Jello Studios. That's my second vote.
That's a good point. That's a good point. The deadlines are very key. So, the fact that we know this artist and we know what they're capable of does give them a bit of an edge. So, good advice. If you guys are looking to get into summer of manga next year, try to get into March Art Madness because that will give you a leg up on the competition. So, that's what we recommend. But let's go ahead and let's get Austin's vote. Does this get your second place vote, Austin?
It does, for mostly the same reasons that Jay was stating. What was like really hurting his second place vote from me was the fact that he was talking about a mech suit and he was talking about monsters, and yet we don't see any of that in his Instagram. We don't get to see those monsters. We don't get to see that mech suit. Like Jay said, we get to see him, Jello Studios, in March Art Madness, which is basically Summer of Manga Boot Camp. Um, and I'm putting my faith into this artist when I probably is going against my better judgment, but because of March Art Madness, it gets my second place vote.
Okay. Okay, cool. Tremaine, what do you think? Does this get your second place vote?
Yes, I'm gonna give this person Jello Studios my second place vote. I really do like the art style. As far as the story, I see a lot of potential for it. I don't believe it's well structured at this point, but I believe once fleshed out in a story, maybe they can explain a lot more. So I'm giving them that leeway for sure. But as far as the artwork, I would, like I said, I think this was one of the ones I was saying. I would love to actually see on a consistent basis.
Gotcha. Okay. I would also give Jello Studios my second place vote, and my reasoning being, I think their artwork is solid. They've done different things. They've shown us what they're capable of. Um, and the Anton art, I'm only seeing one particular art style. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of diversity and different things that they're trying. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and give it to Jello Studios just because I've seen more from what they've shown on their Instagram. I also like their story a little bit more, so it gets my vote. Christina, what about you? Does this get your second place vote?
Yeah, the thing is that all your comments made me question my decision because I was actually going to vote for the other one, uh, Anton Art, I
The
think
Anton art.
is
Mm-hmm.
his name. Yeah, so I still going to give my second vote to this artist, simply because I would like to see the story um, much more than the other story. I mean, I can totally understand like your voting, and it makes a lot of sense regarding March of Madness and stuff. But I guess I still want to give this story a chance because I see a lot of potential, and it just does more for me, I guess, than the story that uh, Jello Studios is making. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Okay. Okay, that is fair. Now
So
let's
wait,
go.
sorry,
Yes.
I just want to clarify. Your second vote is going to the fighting sense, not to red. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Which I will comment that Red is a terrible title and will probably change. Just letting you know.
All right. Let's go ahead. And our last artist. Now we've already, from what I've seen, um, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. Fred did vote for Jello Studios as well. Now, as to why, he didn't say. So he left it blank. So I'm just gonna assume that his opinion was the same for you guys as well. But he did vote yes for Jello Studios as well. Now, our last artist, unfortunately, we already voted for our first and second place. But I will go ahead and give this artist, again, kind of just a rehash of, why they probably didn't get our first or second place vote. We'd like to see more diverse artwork within on your Instagram page. We want to see examples of a sequential art. And we also want to see you maybe kind of tweaking the story a little bit, trying to find more ways to make it sound a little bit more interesting, a little bit more exciting. Get advice from friends or family. That would probably be our best advice for the next time that you want to pitch. But all of these artists today that we've seen are very talented. They've got a lot of potential, and the people that we did not vote for, they're going to be up for a fan vote. And that fan vote is going to be a survey. It's going to be a Google survey that we're going to make sometime next week. So you guys will have the opportunity to vote for one of these submissions that didn't make it through. And they still will have a chance to be a part of our Summer of Manga event. So make sure when you guys see that survey to go and vote. But it's safe to say we all voted for Rob Future, and we voted for Jello Studios to continue on in Summer of Manga, as well as these two artists here, Experiment Arts with The Dragon Princess and Edric Predrusi with their comic Wild Bird Aquila. But that's
I just want to say
yes.
one thing. Sorry. When it comes to the fighting sense, one thing that I would say to try to make your story a little bit more interesting. I see Fred's comments. It doesn't look like you actually followed
Oh,
the pitch, taking this and that and then putting them together, which I think would probably make your story a lot more interesting. Right now, it just seems like there's just one concept where there's a blind woman that's fighting. If you added something else, like I don't know, maybe I don't know, like let's say that you make
Creed,
Aladdin or
Creed.
something. Aladdin and meets Shanghai. Like like I don't know. It's ridiculous, yes, but it makes you think like what is that? So my point is if you were to take another property and add it to what you already have, it probably would give it that extra umph to make it seem more interesting. So just a food for thought for later. But I mean, everybody that's pitched to us, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And I'll give it back to you, Jackie.
Too
yeah.
late, Jay. I'm already writing Aladdin versus Shanghai.
Now, Fred did say that the reason that they didn't vote for Anton Art is because the pitch doesn't follow the rules for the format that we're looking for, which is Series X meets Series X. So like Harry Potter meets Bleach, Full Metal Alchemist meets One Piece. That's the format that we're looking for our pitches. Um, but Fred said the concept is very cool. This seems a bit like Demon Slayer with their air conscious acting like the breathing. Um, Fred says that's smart. Here's my problem. The art is stiff. Nearly 99% of portfolio is fan art, lacking originality. I saw one character design piece, limited sequential artwork, and lastly, their portfolio is a G drive. Put your work out there publicly on a major safe website. So I guess Fred is saying this person's portfolio is somewhat limited behind a private wall. So again, you guys, when you're submitting your pitch to us, make sure that everything is so we can check it out, so we can see your art. You can't be an artist and hide your work. You have to show what you're made of so that people can see your stuff. Um, and I think that's about all I will say on that. But I want to go ahead and just give a big thank you to everyone who showed up tonight for this event. Thank you, Christina, Austin, Jay, Tremaine, and Demetrian. This was a lot of fun. These were great entries, and if you guys have any final words, I'll leave it to you. Demetrian, you have any final last words?
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I'm just gonna. Yeah, I mean, appreciation to everybody who submitted their works and everything. Regardless of like what everybody said and the comments we gave. I think everybody um, you know um, did a really good job and appreciative of you putting yourself out there and regardless if you didn't make it in this time or not, there's always next time, and food for thought on everything that everybody said. So yeah.
That's true. That's true. Tremaine, do you have any parting words?
Pretty much along the same lines. Very appreciative of everybody who entered. It's so cool being on this end of it, because I was in Summer of Manga. That's how I pretty much joined with Saturday AM. So definitely cool being on this side, and just to everybody who has entered, don't take any of the commentary given tonight to heart. It's only meant to chisel out a better sculpture for you guys. But yeah, keep on shooting for it. I love to see all of the entries.
Awesome stuff. Awesome. Jay, it looks like you have something to add on that. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to piggyback off of what he was saying. Don't take it too hard. Don't take anything too personal. Yeah, sometimes critiques are, kind of blunt and hurtful, but I mean, you just gotta listen to it. Cause I mean, let's say you actually do have a comic book come out there and, there's actually an actual critic looking at your stuff. They're going to tear into it. And if it's not up to par and your entire life, everybody was telling you that, you're amazing, then you're just going to have a rude awakening. So just take it to heart. Don't, don't take it to heart. Take it, internalize it so that way you can get better and, come back next year fighting. But also I want to say pre-order the books. You can pre-order Hammer Volume 1. And you can also get these cards as well if you do pre-order. So definitely pre-order as many books as you can, so that way you can get all of these trading cards. All these books come out in 2-3 weeks, something like that. So I'm pretty excited. But definitely thank you again for sending in your pitches. And I can't wait to see more next year.
Yes, thank you, Jay. Thank you for mentioning the graphic novels and just being a cool dude as you are always. Christina, do you have any parting words for the audience?
Any famous last words, I guess.
Yes.
No, I just well, thank you for having me on. I hope it wasn't too exhausting listening to my crappy German English that I try to when I'm trying to review these pitches. But it was a lot of fun. I think all of you guys did great, regardless of whether or not you're in Summer of Manga now. This is a very scary process. I believe. I remember when I did this in 2018, and Fred just ripped Grimheim apart in some regards. But only then you really grow. So I'm grateful for that experience, and I think that if you guys keep on working on your stuff, work on your comics, you will be very successful in the future. And I wish you all the best.
Awesome. Awesome. You're making me look up some quotes that I just posted on my Instagram, Christina, as my last thought. So before I bore you with a quote, I will go ahead and leave you to Austin. Austin, do you have any final thoughts?
Oh, sweet. Now I get to bore you guys.
No.
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 Uh, you know, yeah, like everybody said, no matter what, just keep on applying. If this is something that you really want to do, it's a lot of work for very little reward, as I've said. But apply again next year, become better, become stronger. For those who all didn't get in, just become better. And for those who did get in, just a reminder, I do take bribes. Good night, everybody.
Very good. There we go. Everyone give him a round of applause, please. There we go. There we go. All right. So the quote that I have here, I don't know where I found this. I just kind of found it on the internet, but I think they're really good quotes. A bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. Now is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning. I really like those. I know one of them is Winston Churchill, but I thought I'd just share that with you guys. But again, thank you all for joining us for a second episode, Summer of Manga Pitches. We're going to be coming out with one more episode, and we'll be looking at 5 more pitches to consider and 2 more artists that we already selected. So keep up with us. Follow us on social media. We have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have even TikTok. So be sure to check us out there, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.